And what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to another episode of Right on Cue Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut. Joining me tonight is my barbecue brother, Mr. Houston Lyle. And together our powers unite, boom, to make small batch barbecue. Houston, what's been going on, buddy?
Oh, not much, man. Just living, baby.
Man, I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever, man. It's been a fresh minute. It's our paths keep crossing.
I don't know. It's been a bit. I mean, most of the episodes I've been on with Rusty.
I know. I planned on like one with you and one with Rusty, but man, the way it's been working out, it's just I got to get this scheduling thing down. I have been slacking majorly. Real life
Dude,
has
I
got
mean, it's just everybody's just trying to get to the end of the year.
it's such a shit show, man. This and tax season, like, just shoot me in the head. But
Yeah,
and
we're
then
in that same boat.
I don't know, dude. And it doesn't help that freaking I had nothing to look forward to at football because both of my teams are absolutely atrocious. Thank you for Titans and Wildcats for letting me down once again. Uh
Couldn't
they're
be worse than my fantasy team. I'm in just a
I,
full blown free fall.
dude. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna lose today. Supposed to beat Travis. My team's just been sucking, so I'm like fighting you for the toilet bowl. So don't worry. Although I've been practicing my finger paints for the art session, so that should be
Dude,
fun.
I don't know, man. I am a white dwarf heading for a black hole at this point.
Well, you've never been in the bottom, though, have you? Have you been at the
No,
bottom?
I haven't. I've
Yeah,
never finished in the bottom.
gosh, fuck yeah, I live there. I have a condo, like timeshare. It's like annually pass. I get to go back every year. So no, it's
Oh, dude, my bench is The Walking Dead right now. Like, I'm starting like a bunch of who's and nobodies.
oh man, I'll tell you, mine. I fucking wrecks on myself every time because I look at my bench and it's like, oh, nice to see they balled out. And then like my main players are like 1.8 points or like 5 points. I'm like, I hate my life, but it's okay.
Yeah, but
At
I
least
mean, at
it's
least you got that to be upset about. Like, I look at my bench and it's like, oh, point 4 points for that guy this week. Solid
I
roster
don't.
spot.
I'd rather have that though, man. I'd rather have my bench suck. And like, I hate seeing points on the bench. Like, I'm like, one time my bench outscored my team. I'm like, I hate my life. And plus, of course, I was playing Haggard, and then that just makes things worse.
I'm sure he was
And
very gracious about it.
oh yeah, yeah, very kind and gracious, and totally didn't mock me or nothing at all.
Send you
But
shit talk
oh,
memes
the
for a
whole
week.
yeah, and he's the one that says that I'm the shit talker, which I am. It's my love language. But yeah, he's the one that rides my ass like a horse jockey.
No, he
Uh,
doesn't.
he does. But
No, he does.
no, man. Hey, but you know what? It's basketball season, and Kentucky is back,
Oh,
baby. We are back. We beat Duke. Stuck at Duke. If anybody's a fan of Duke that's gonna
no,
watch this page, you
there's
suck.
no Dukies that listen to this show.
No, if there is, unsubscribe. No, stay subscribed, but just don't watch. You still subscribe, like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. Just, whatever.
But
Poop on
also,
you.
fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah. Exactly. Man, dude, has it been weird for you being out of the barbecue loop? I
A
don't know
little
what to do
bit.
with my hand. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I'm seeing all these people like last week was the Atlanta barbecue
Yeah.
supply tournament and congratulations to Gareth. Got him a chicken and rib call, Smoky Bees, Boy Hunt, he got RGC. Electrocuted, man, coming in strong with a GC. And then
Hell yeah.
AJ got a chicken call. So man, our boys are kicking butt, man. I'm very proud of him. Shout out Puddle Duck Buzz. He got some calls. So man, it's definitely representing, man. Our little crew is representing. But man,
It's
the
so
one thing
tough to get into these late season ones, though.
it is. I don't know. I'm looking forward to smoking on the shore. But no,
Ditto.
yeah, for sure. Although last week, man, my whole focus or last month really, it's been nothing but deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever go down to the one in Erin? Did y'all ever hunt that area down there? Or you duck hunting? You still duck hunt, don't you?
Oh yeah,
Still waiting for my
definitely.
invitation. Uh,
Yeah, I made it out one weekend last year.
man, I do
It's
this
all.
year. This year has been because I had Mo and Bob down to
Yeah.
hunt and Neely, and dude, we saw jack shit. This warm, but it's been weird, man. It's been a weird year. It's like the
Yeah.
rut hit late, and I don't know, man. It's so weird. But it is deer hunting. We are having another deer hunting episode. If you guys don't know, we got the man, the myth, the legend. He's a YouTube and TikTok star, and this guy knows hunting, and his videos are freaking hilarious. It's funny, like
Yeah, they are.
Houston. I didn't tell Houston who the guest was until about an hour ago.
Yeah.
and Houston was like, "What? Who?" And he's like, "Oh, I know this guy. I'll see all his videos. If you guys haven't seen this guy's videos on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, I guess you know TikTok, do you?
No, I don't. I watch my TikToks on Instagram like an adult.
Like an adult. I TikTok with the cool kids with the teeny boppers, but
I'm
we
on there
gotta
with
get.
the Swifties.
Whatever, man. I'll do whatever. I'll do what I gotta do to get the TikTok fame. But no, this guy has got it figured out. He's a hardcore hunter. He's hilarious. He's the whole package. So I'm very excited to bring on to the Right on Cue podcast none other than Mr. Trent Ellis from the great state
Heck
of
yeah.
Mississippi. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys?
How you
Hail
like
State.
that intro? Hail
Yeah,
State.
that was like all professional, and then you got the ceiling fan and the bedpost back here, and
like
it just adds all to it.
I like it, man. Very, very nice, man. Very nice. Mississippi State, man. So you're enjoying football season about as much as I am.
Oh yeah, we're doing great. We got a real chance at the title this year. Yeah.
We're fighting you for the toll boat. Hey, at least we can say we're better than Vandy. Wait, no, we can't.
No,
Vandy
and that's the thing. That's the thing is now with the NIL, nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe, man. It's all about dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills.
You know what,
There's
though?
new
At the
dynasties
same
on the
time,
horizon.
Yeah.
Vandy is in no danger of becoming a dynasty.
No.
I'm
No.
not saying Vandy, but I'm just saying the colleges with the deepest pockets, those are the ones in the next 10 years that are gonna flip the switch and take over.
I mean,
God
dude,
bless those nerds, but they are Diego Pavia and nothing else.
I know, but that's all you need, though.
But he's played football for like 8 years now. Like, he has to be done.
So what? So is Carson Beck. Carson Beck's about to draw retirement. He's like his pension at Georgia.
Right.
It's about to kick in. But no, man. Let's get back to our guests. We get on sidetracks, man. You guys talking about football or booze or something like that. We get sidetracked. But
no, it is the season.
Tis the season. It's basketball season. I don't know about this football thing you guys talk of. And here in Kentucky, it's basketball.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I get that. We should have basketball here too, but we suck at that as well. So,
I sound like Hank Hill. Like in Kentucky, it's propane and propane accessories. We only like basketball and basketball related topics.
That's right.
Hey, Trent, where are you based out of?
So I live in Northeast Mississippi. I'm actually from a small town called Mantachie, which is outside of Tupelo.
I was gonna say that's up by Tupelo, right?
Yeah, I live actually in
Just said that, Houston.
Same county, Etowah County, but same county as I grew up. But yeah.
I got you, man. So,
up there in that Black Prairie.
I think we're actually a little bit north. The Black Prairie, I want to say, I could be wrong about this, but I want to say it's closer to West Point.
Okay.
45 out of Tupelo and going south, and just when you get, probably 10 miles outside of Tupelo headed south, then that's where you get into the Black Prairie. So
nice.
Some good deer hunting in there too. I know y'all said this was a deer hunting episode.
Yeah. This is a deer hunting episode, man. We love, like I said, this time of year we talk many things, a multitude of things, and deer hunting is definitely we can tie it into cooking loosely, like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. We can make this work.
That's right.
But no, man.
Also
but
like
so
bacon.
I do like bacon. And Kevin Bacon. Footloose is nice. So tell the people who don't know who you are, who are living under a rock and not on the tiki like Houston likes to say, who you are. Like I said, you definitely are known. You're a avid hunter and all that good jazz. Correct?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like I said, right here in Fulton, Mississippi. I'm 29 years old. I got a beautiful wife and a 2-year-old little boy.
God bless you.
Yeah. Going through it, baby. Going through it. Now, but yeah, I've been doing social media now for a little over a year. Last August was my start, August 24th of 23. And I've been in the investment game from 2021 to now. And last year I just had some free time and just kind of looking around and seeing stuff pop up on social media. And I'm like, man, I think I've got enough crazy things going up in my head to make a few folks laugh and do some Southern humor and some outdoor humor. And as long as I keep it good and clean and godly, that's, I'm good. And we'll just see what the good Lord does with it. And, I told my wife when I started, I said, I'm just going to do it for a week. If I don't hate it, I think I can do it. And I think I'm just going to if I don't hate it, I'm just going to keep going no matter what. And I think that first week I had a couple of people, I was doing old Southern phone calls.
Yeah.
And so looking back now, the video, like the way I edited and like even the timing is just terrible, but I had a lot of local people, 20 or 30 people come up to me at a ball game or something like, man, I saw that video you did. It got like 400 views, but I was one of the and that is funny as crap. Like that's everything around here. So just that kind of local positive feedback I was like, man, I'm making some folks laugh. They can relate. So let's keep going. But dude, yeah,
that's awesome,
absolutely.
Man. Yeah, so Houston, since you're not on TikTok, so right now I think you're at what 259,000 followers, if I recall.
Now I think on TikTok like 280, and then
280. Excuse me.
Nice.
Facebook's like just shy of 300, and over like 125 Instagram, I think, and then 80 on YouTube. But I post all the shorts unless there's a gun in the video or any kind of killing. I don't post that on TikTok, but I post everything on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So, yeah.
Where did that come from? Like, did you start posting on TikTok, or what platform did you use?
Yeah, so August 24th of last year, I downloaded TikTok and I uploaded my first 2 videos. I can't remember if that same day I also uploaded to Facebook, but it was within a week of me starting that I made the decision of I need to post on everything, just take advantage of everything. And, but yeah, that's the day I downloaded is when I uploaded my first couple of videos. But
so from TikTok, it kind of exploded into the other platforms. You kind of got the popularity first because TikTok's so quick. That's the good thing about TikTok. I feel like I'm like that too. Like if I scroll through and I see a funny video, I'm like, oh, this is funny. Let's see what else this person has created. And if I do that, I'm like, all right, we'll follow. I feel like on Facebook and YouTube, like we gotta dance for our peanuts, and people are hold those subscribe buttons like it's like gold. It's like I don't want to give it to them, but okay.
Instagram
lucky dance.
Yeah, Instagram's been the slowest for me, but
really,
Facebook for the longest was the best for me for like views and followers and stuff like that. And I think with TikTok, I've done a lot of stuff. I've had probably 4 or 5 videos get completely taken down, like when I was first doing it, because I was putting like guns on there or whatever the case. And I think I've been kind of flagged. So I think that may have like slowed me down just a hair, not a bunch, but I like with Facebook and everything else, like the gloves were off. I could post pretty much whatever
you want. Yeah.
Yeah. But
all of your stuff is all your stuff's hunting content. Do they take down hunting content that has firearms in it?
TikTok. Yeah.
Really?
You can. So I've actually had 2 or 3 videos taken down that had crossbows in them. Bows archery is completely fine, but when they see the scope on the top of the crossbow, to the blue-haired folks, it registers as a gun. So they're like, nope, no guns, can't have it. So
you know what? That makes so much sense because, like, I'm sure you're like me. Your algorithm is probably similar to mine. Like this whole past month, every time I get on TikTok, it's nothing but live of people deer hunting. It's like everything's deer hunting. I'm in the field of this. I'm in the field of that, and it's all archery. So I never like, why is it not any guns? But now it makes sense because they see a scope and they're like, naughty, naughty.
Yep, nope, can't do that. No, can't show a gun.
But there's all kinds of firearms on Instagram.
Oh, now Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I mean, you can show pretty much anything. You know, I don't think you can show a lot of. You can't show any kind of gore. So if you've got a video of shooting a deer and there's a ton of blood spewing out, you can't do that on Facebook or Instagram. But but yeah, they're a lot better than TikTok.
You can't post like the gobbler guillotine video.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
I'm grabbing a turkey and giving them a dance.
Yeah.
No.
God, I used to sit there and watch those videos for hours.
I love it, man. I used to love those videos. Every time my grandma was like, "Hold the chicken." All right, it's time to eat.
Videos, you're in the bed at night and it's 11:30 and you should be asleep, but you started off watching this over here and now you're watching Dr. Pimple Popper, or whatever the case.
Dude, I feel like there's two types of people in the world. There's people that love Dr. Pimple Popper and those that hate him. And I have more of the love. I love watching that stuff. I don't know why.
My wife hates
My wife hates it. My wife will puke. I'm like, honey, watch it. It's a gusher. She goes, ugh.
I'm like, oh, this one is severely infected.
Oh, yes. Like, no,
I don't do lumps or bumps. I don't do lumps or bumps.
No, he does. I hate it when it's the tease, too. It's like you watch the whole video and then they don't. Shot. You don't get the money shot. I'm like,
I have to stay on this long, but I swear I have to tell this. So
go for it. Yeah.
10 years ago, I came upon a video I think it was the first viral pimple popping video out there. And it was by complete accident, but it was an older guy. Looked like he was probably in his early 60s. And it wasn't red or nothing, but he had his shirt off and he was outside. And there was just a huge, like he looked like a darn dinosaur with a plate under it. And it was
Stegosaurus.
So and his daughter took a scalpel or whatever and cut it, mashed it. And I remember seeing it. I was like, oh my gosh. And I ran in there and showed my dad. I was like, Daddy, you got to look at this. And he's like, good Lord, son, where in the world did you find that at? It was just, we're like, Lord, I
think I've seen that
on
one.
The internet now.
Because I think she squeezed like a cyst out of it, like the size of a beer can.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
That's the first video I ever saw. I was just mesmerized. I was like, oh. And then it wasn't 3 or 4 years later, Dr. Pimple Popper come out. So, yeah.
You know what? Stuff like that made her rich, but not the doctorate degree or nothing like that. It's just TikTok.
No, dermatology is Greek for fake doctor. Give me a break. Throwing shots at the medical profession tonight.
Whatever. They don't watch the show. No, man. I feel like
you don't say.
Yeah, I feel like the reason why we like that is because when we got deers, the stuff we do, at the animal, it's like that's nothing compared to what we do to a deer. Like you hang that bad boy. So let me ask you this: like you're an avid hunter. That's kind of where you got all your stories and content from. Where's when you think about the different scenarios? Because you've done so many videos at this point. Like it's got to be getting tough. That you sit around do you still do your accounting or your other job, and you sit there and just think about what haven't I done yet?
Well, it's kind of I don't know, man. I'm so busy now between that job and that business and social media and hunting, and I don't have a whole lot of time. It's like, man, before I know it, Sunday's here, and then I'm having to make notes for Monday and then make videos on Monday and then try to hunt and try to do business and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, I tell you, I'm 29 years old, and it's literally, I've been hunting and in love with hunting. I killed my first deer when I was 9 years old. So for 20 years now, I've been like just super obsessed with hunting deer. And in the last, I'd say when I was 15, got into duck hunting and loved that and did that a lot for 4 or 5 years. And then, right after I got out of the Marine Corps, I got into turkey hunting. And then that's a whole new obsession. I mean, it's just like, so
the big three.
Yeah, like any kind of hunting, I've just obsessed over, and I've done a lot of over the last 20 years, and especially the last 10. And I don't know, man. You just get out there enough, and you get around enough people, and you just, it's just stories built up. It's just things that are built up in your head that you never forget. It's just kind of seared in your brain. So that's what I'm doing a lot of times. I'm just, basically bringing up old conversations I've had or I've heard, or, scenarios that I've seen or done or heard about. I mean, it's, it's something crazy. There's a handful of crazy things that happen to me every single deer season, every single turkey season, like whatever, there's always something, So.
I love that about deer hunting. Like, my favorite thing about deer hunting is the deer camp and the stories and the lies you tell everybody. It's like, yeah, man, it was like a 200-incher, man. I think it was massive, and then I just missed it. It just went in the hill. I'm like, no, it was a spike that you just saw, and you just looked up from your phone. And you're like, oh, there's a spike in the corner of the field. Oh, crap. Oh, that's a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Well, mine would be like me coming back, and telling my uncle, like, man, me and Trey, my older brother's, my only brother, he's older than me, Trey, we would go down there with our uncle and his 2 boys. And before his boys were born, we'd go down there with him and his buddies and hunt. And I remember one time me and Trey went out, and that morning we went by, and this was down there close to Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
And we turned
Stark
on
Vegas, baby.
Yeah, we turned on a road close to Stark Vegas, and I mean, right off the highway in the front yard of someone's like property, just front yard. Mm-hmm. Pretty good buck. I mean, it had to be close to a 130 or maybe a little more. Good buck. Mm-hmm. And we just keep driving, of course, because we're decent human beings,
Right.
That's a good year. Let's keep going, and we'll go hunt like normal. Well, I tell this story to my uncle. We tell this story to my uncle on the way back, and we get scolded on why we didn't pull over and try to shoot that darn deer.
Oh, man. I can't tell you how many times I've been driving around Western Kentucky, and like I'm always looking over to a field. Like, every time I look into a field, especially during like this kind of season, I see a deer. My wife's like, how the hell do you see that deer? It's like 500 yards away. You can't find your socks on your bedroom floor, but you can find a deer. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trained, but I like that. I drive through some of these like Western Kentucky, and I see these fields, see these monster bucks. I'm like, man. Yeah. I'm tempted to shoot it, but man, I just like, nah, I can't do that. I'm one of those guys. Like, if I want to get it, it's like, I want to get it honestly, because then it means more. Then I don't feel guilty. But then, if it's a 200-inch plus one and it's on the road, I'll just hit it. And you're like, oh no, whoops.
Yeah, well, he ran out my buck tag in the middle of the ditch. So what are you gonna do?
I know.
No, man, I'd be too scared about trying to do something like that down by Starkville, because with my luck, the damn thing would be on like the Noxubee Refuge or something.
Yeah,
I'd get lit up by the like wildlife management. The minute I pulled it.
That's right.
You're gonna be that one guy that gets busted in like the robotic deer sting. It's like, oh, there's a monster buck right there, and it's like, as soon as you shoot at the game warden, woo.
No, going to jail in Noxubee County.
They're literally just emptying out a live deer and stuffing it with robotics, because the robot deer that they have nowadays, and the way they can move, they can make their ears move. I mean, you just
it's impressive.
It's rough on these outlaws, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, getting arrested in Noxubee County is pretty low on my priority list at this point.
Yeah. You sound like you know what you're talking about right there, Houston.
I've spent some time in Noxubee County. Like I ain't going to jail there. But thank you.
No. So what? So you
Right.
said your first love is the deer hunting. So how do you hunt? You say I've noticed like we talked about before that you do a lot of just tree climbing and kind of bow hunting. Primarily bow hunt, or do you rifle hunt, or
No, I would say when gun season gets here in Mississippi, I have a gun. Unless
there you
I'm
go?
going somewhere like I'm going to South Dakota this Thursday, and I
Nice.
have to
We're
take.
about.
I'll be flying into Rapid City,
Mm.
It's a
so
cool town.
it'll be somewhere. It'll be somewhere real close to there. I've got a buddy up there that he's got some land, and we're going to be going out and bow hunting and trying to get one on film. But I'm not one of those guys yet. I have not killed enough in my mind, in my opinion. I just haven't killed enough big deer overall to say I need to make it more competitive.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to bow hunt during gun season because I know with my luck, my biggest buck of my life, which could be a 130-inch deer, is going to walk 50 to 80 yards and stand broadside for somewhere around 10 minutes and just
Yeah.
sit there and just be all calm and and he's just going to be rack scraping the ground and I'm going to be standing there with my bow wanting to
Oh, dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
that's
so I don't do that. So in gun season, when I get the opportunity for a gun, a muzzleloader, whatever the case, that's
yeah.
going in my hands. But I still bow hunt, um, I'd say, well, Mississippi opens October 1st. So from October to 1st of December, I'm bow hunting. I've killed one this year with my compound
Nice.
saddle, and I've got that on YouTube. And then I killed one behind my house in my shoot house with a crossbow. That's the first deer and only deer I've ever shot with a crossbow. So I had to go out there and get another one with my compound. And be like, all right, guys, I got one with the compound. Calm down.
I showed
Are you
everybody on the
shooting
page.
mounted?
Yeah.
Do what?
Are you shooting mounted? Like
What do
when
you
you
mean?
go saddle hunt? Like, are
What do
you in the saddle when you're
Oh yeah,
firing the bow?
yeah. It's way more. It's in my opinion. I started off when I was 9 years old, climbing with old man climbing stands. All right, everybody remembers the net seat, the steel, the heavy. Like it's it was back then. It was a really good stand, really good. That's what you wanted. And then it went to Summit. Summit took them over. But I started off climbing trees like that, and then when I was in college at State in 2019, I think it was, we started watching. Well, I started watching the Hunting Public a lot in 2017 or 18. And it was a year before. I know it was a year before we went to State. And they were we were seeing a lot of them saddle hunt a lot. And me and my brother, we primarily hunted public land. So every time we got out of the truck, I mean, most of the time we were walking at least a mile into the woods. And, we both were kind of like, man, we need to try this saddle hunting out because that would cut back a lot on our walking. And obviously it did, and we didn't go back to the climber since, or the lock on or anything like that. I personally, when I am in the saddle, am more stable with a bow than if I'm standing on my own 2 feet on the bare ground or on a platform. Just because the way that I think about it is when you're standing on your feet, okay, when you're standing up and you're shooting a bow, you have to focus. If you think about it, you have to focus on stabilizing yourself from your feet up. Right. But you have to make sure that you have a firm base and all that kind of stuff. Well, in saddle hunting, that's taken away. The only thing you're focused on is from core up.
Yeah.
Everything else is loose. So, I've had a lot of people that don't saddle hunt or never been in a saddle shooting a bow. Really question, is it comfortable? Is it manageable as far as can you stay steady? I tell everyone the same thing, dude. I'm more steady in a saddle shooting a bow than I am anywhere else. The worst the worst place I can be shooting a bow is in a chair, sitting down in a chair. That's like the worst. That's my worst shot 10 times out of 10. But and I've killed.
What about chairs up in a tree?
Same thing. I missed that buck I killed with a crossbow out of my shoot house with the compound the day before I killed him. So sitting in my shoot house. So yeah, but no, it's to me it's the best form of hunting that I've done. So
that's just amazing to me, though, because I mean I'm a very weak horseback rider, and like, and frankly, like terrified of them most of the time I'm sitting on one. So like the idea of doing anything else than just hoping it doesn't kill me by throwing me off or whatever. If the damn things bite me every time I get around them, but like,
No.
like.
You're thinking Logan's gonna get him on that one.
No, I got to, man. No, like I'm with Gareth over here, man. He said, Gareth said he hadn't found a saddle that's ready for a Clydesdale yet. Yeah, me neither, man. I didn't decide for a Clydesdale.
No, I think
I'd be a little nervous.
He's just thinking of a different kind of saddle. Yeah.
I am. Saddle. But I use it on both animals, so it's fine.
Houston's up there with the assless chaps, just trying to.
I don't get why this horse sitting into me.
I can't get the girdle around this tree.
Damn it! No.
Nowhere to put my foot with these stirrups.
No.
I'm just like I'm so terrified of horses. Like they just scare the shit out of me. Like being on them. Like,
whatever.
Hold on.
All right,
Houston, do you think when we say saddle hunting, we're talking about on top of a horseback?
Yeah, hell yeah. I thought this is exactly what you're talking about.
No, dude. A saddle is a harness that goes. Look,
I thought you were talking about fucking riding horses around, man.
Dude, when you said that about horses, I was like, this guy thinks we're talking about hunting.
I really did.
No, bro.
Dude, not a deer hunter. Like, that's admittedly, awesome. Not a deer
saddle hunter. Dude, you're bringing cowboys and Indians and shit.
That's what he was talking about. I was like, oh, shit, man. People have been doing it for however long Indians have been a thing. So.
That was your first question to me. You said, are you mounted?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is he talking about mounted? Like, I'm going to go with it. Okay. All right. Let me explain, Houston.
Dude, please.
Saddle hunting is.
Oh, this is a clip right here.
That you roll around your waist and your butt.
Okay.
That's the saddle.
Okay.
You strap yourself to the tree.
Okay.
You've seen those guys.
I'm Googling this bullshit.
You've seen those guys shimmy up a tree and cut a tree off?
Yeah.
Section a tree down. If they didn't have those spikes in their boots and that they're just going by a lineman's rope. But
those are grown men.
Yeah, those are grown men. Yeah, this one is actually, it connects to a rope that's a bridge right here, and it ties fully around the tree. So, but it's the same.
Okay, this makes a lot more sense now. The name's a bit misleading.
It makes so much sense now that he asks, are you mounted when you're shooting the deer? I'm
no. I thought you were like riding around on a damn horse, man. Like, dude,
Trent only hunts out the 666 Ranch down there at Yellowstone. He's down him and Rip and all them there.
Yeah, me and Taylor
4.6s.
Dude, I only hunt wings, man. Like I do no deer hunting at all.
That's
wings, things that fly.
Big duck hunter and everything.
Yeah, duck, dove, turkey, like.
Yeah. Well,
that's awesome, though, man.
I will forever tell this story.
Good, please.
Yeah,
bring it up. I was on this podcast.
Yeah,
remember, right on cue. No,
this is probably going to be a video next week. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're famous. We're gonna be famous.
I will tag you, Houston, in this. Yeah. I will be like, I'll tag the podcast. Like, thank y'all for the inspiration.
Yes, dude. If you don't make one like that, get you a stick horse. Get you a stick horse and do that. That'd be awesome.
Dude, I know people with real horses here. Like I can, yeah.
Yeah, but the stick horse would be so much funnier though. Just stick horse and a little bow and arrow.
All right, just promise me this though.
Tennessee saddle hunting.
Like you don't break your neck trying to film more of these damn videos on a living
that-
horse.
No, I wouldn't get that serious with it.
No.
No,
All
I
right,
mean, you know, arguably it's a barbecue podcast, and I am admittedly not a deer hunter. Never have
Hey,
been.
that's the best. I mean, I don't think anybody is ever mistaken on a podcast, on live like TV stuff. Like
I don't think deer camp
cattle hunter for basically
The horses
of a Native American in the 1800s. Like, I don't think they've tied those two together on a podcast. So you're the first. That's what we're here for. That's good.
Yes, popping bottles, baby. Giving content, free content.
pop bottles, baby.
Pop bottles. No, man, that's so funny.
They should look into the name.
All right, let me talk actually deer hunting stuff.
Let's do it.
Yeah, hold on.
Now that we can rule horses out, let's get back to deer.
Oh my god, Houston! This is
get a beer.
Thank you. This is part of the interruption. I put you on like a 30-second break, but I don't have my mouse. No, Trent. Actually, I didn't want to put him on a 30-second break. You know what? You're in timeout. He's in timeout. No, man. But so when you hunt down in Mississippi Lake, what's the terrain like? So up here, it's we have a lot of like row crop and a lot of row crop, a lot of woods, and a lot of fields and stuff. What's it like down there in Mississippi?
It's honestly, I mean, depending on where you are, if you're in the Delta, it's going to be straight, flat fields tied into hardwood sloughs and bottoms. If you're in the Black Prairie, what Houston mentioned earlier, you got more fields that tie into some hardwood bottoms, some pine plantations. Excuse me. If you're like where I'm at, it's primarily pines. There are some mixed hardwoods here and there, but mainly pines. And where I'm at in the state is a little hillier. It's not like anything like Alabama's got.
Sure.
But I would say most of the states you're going to be flatter. There are some areas that have some hills, but yeah, that's like for instance, you're not going to come here. I mean, kind of similar to Tennessee, kind of similar. I mean,
Middle Tennessee, maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's so thick with woods. You're not going to come to Mississippi and do a whole lot of glassing.
So you're pretty much brush hunting like in the woods, and you got your food plot in the middle of the woods. Because I know like Heath Riles, he's got a big hunting compound down there, and Bob was telling me about his stuff, and he's like, you got your can y'all bait down there? Can you bait Mississippi?
You can on private.
Private, okay.
Yeah.
So basically, he's got the cart pass to this huts, and then you got the bait pile, then you got the food plot right there, and then you go another through the woods, and then clear out space, food plot, same thing. Is that kind of how it is down there? The stick brush versus like row crops?
Like I said earlier, I mean, this year I've been fortunate enough to go. I'll be going to South Dakota on a private land hunt. I went to the last deer I killed or both the deer that I've killed this year have been on private land. One on mine and one on down there, South Mississippi. But mostly what I have been doing is public land. So if I'm hunting private, yes, I'm more than likely going to be hunting a food plot and a corn feeder. If I'm hunting anywhere else, like on public or whatnot, I'm going to be, trying to find food, which it means acorns, trying to find a hardwood bottom. The best thing for me is to find like anything near water, okay, any kind of river, any kind of river or creek I want to be around. And then, if I can have all of that plus a thicket of some sort, like if I can be near water, if I can have acorns around me, and I can be like right next to a bedding area, a thicket, pine thicket, briar, big briar patch, whatever the case, that's like the trifecta for me. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bed, food, and water. And so I hunt a lot of river bottom. Where I'm at up here, I hunt a ton of river bottom. you know.
So like so we have a private farm. I've hunted public a couple of times just with some buddies back when I was younger, but primarily we have we used to have like 600 acres. Now we're down to like 170 acres, which is still a good size for private, and they row crop throughout the year. So, so you said you're primarily a public land hunter. Like you do a lot. Like tell people like what goes into like public land hunting. Like because you got to show up either like there's two types of public land hunters. I feel like some people that put the preparation in and do the scouting and stuff like that, and then there's the ones that show up drunk at like 8:30 in the morning and then pick a random tree and like that's it.
Those guys are normally the ones that kill 150-inch deer. The ones that are super hungover from camp or whatever, and they're just like, yeah, I'm just going to go to the gate and walk 100 yards into the woods right there and sit down. And then 7:30, boom, and killed a monster. You know, I'm going back to the house, going to sleep. I mean, I would say myself, I'm kind of like in the middle. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not a John Eberhart to where I'm going to get out there at 4:00 in the morning, and get in there 2 hours before daylight. But right before daylight, or even sometimes like if I'm thinking the deer, if I'm looking at the deer movement pattern or whatever, and they're supposed to be moving from like 11 to 1, I may get in there at 8. I may sit all day, or I may sit from like 8 to 2 or 8 to 3 or whatever the case. But I try to do a lot of different stuff. I mean, and with public land hunting, the biggest thing that you have to take into consideration is the pressure. That's it. Yeah. Like you've the biggest mistake that I've made is thinking that I'm far enough back into an area to where nobody else is hunting. I thought that this year. I mean, I knew going in. I mean, don't think that. That's 100% incorrect. May not be many people back here, but you're not the only one. Okay, this is 2024. You're not the only person having the grand idea of this spot has got deer. So, I mean, it was a month ago. I've had a big deer on camera, and one I shot last year and didn't find, and then found out this year he made it, and then he's grown even more. I find out where he's bedding in the general area of where he's out, get him on camera a lot before season, then right after season. And then the week or two after bow season opened up, I got to get on camera. And I'm like twice, one in the late morning and one right at daylight the next time. And I'm like, that go, man, like, come on. Like I'm way back there, So, all the time, like if you have a private farm, even if it's small, it could be 10 acres, 20 acres, whatever. I mean, you could make that somewhat of a sanctuary. Deer from all around could eventually come there and realize, hey, on these 20 acres, we are not getting shot, or we are not getting shot at or hunted near as much. And you can secure that 20 acres. Well, you can't do that on public, and then there's been a ton of times on public to where, I've been hunting and, think I'm going to go to this spot, and there's really only one truck, parking spot right there. Plus somebody up. It's a small place, and then you get there and it's already taken, or, you get in the woods and it's opening day of squirrel season, and you've got 15 squirrel hunters walk within 20 yards of you. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but
that's my favorite, man. Some of the videos I've seen you and some other guys that made on TikTok and YouTube and stuff. It's like you're owning public land, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get one, and all of a sudden you see a drunk guy walking up. Hey, buddy! It's like 8:30.
Oh, I didn't see you there, man. My bad.
Loud as hell, and just walking through. Yeah. I'm like, I lose my shit if I like this year. So we hunt, and there's cattle farm around us. And our farmer don't know what the hell a fence is, because every single year these cows get out and they come over and they eat all the corn stuff I set out for the deer, and it's every time, and it pisses me off. And I have these hunters come down that I'm trying to show. I got these big bucks on camera. Like the week before, I got like 6 monsters on my property, and then day of, I see nothing. Like we go like right when red hits, I feel like they all just like and see ya.
Yeah.
We're sleeping all because like we're sleeping all night. I mean, we're sleeping all day, partying all night. I mean, they're like teenagers. They're just like I haven't seen a single one except for like the very edge of the tree line. You know what I mean? I feel like whenever like modern gun season comes in, it's like they're like sticking their head out from the tree line, and then they're going right back in.
Yeah.
Especially when it's hot. This year's been really hot, and like the weather's been weird, so it's been a weird year for us down there. I'm sure the deer are used to, like. Does the warm weather bother deer hunting down there, or do they like the colder weather pushing through? Like up here, it really messes with them.
Yeah, I don't think it it helps them. You know, I mean, obviously the colder the weather, anytime there's a good cold front where it drops 20 degrees, 30 degrees, it goes from it being 59 in the morning to 40. I mean, that's going to help a lot. That's going to be a good day. But yeah, I mean, we haven't had we've had, I mean, I guess about the same weather as y'all, and
hot this year.
I'm hoping. Well, they've said a couple months ago that we're in for the harshest, longest winter. I just hope that it doesn't start December the 25th. I'd like for us to see more of a positive. Which this week it's supposed to get down into like the 30s for the first time. So maybe it'll be right for us. But
that's cold for down there.
That's really cold.
Well, man, honestly, I would say for the last 7 or 8 years, I can't think of a year to where it didn't get in the teens or the single digits.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's how it's been here the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been I remember in 2017, December, right after Christmas and the first week of January in 2018, we had a snow come through the last week of December, and it was so cold, it iced, it snowed, and it was so cold that the roads stayed frozen for like 10 days because I remember our first week of school when me and my wife were going to Itawamba Community College. We went back after Christmas break. We went back for one day, and that was a half a day. And then we were off for another full week. And it was because of how cold it stayed, the roads couldn't thaw. And, but yeah, it's funny because my wife's from Washington State. So when her parents came down here for the first time, they came down here in January of that year, and 2018. And I remember my father-in-law, we picked him up at Nashville Airport, and it was 7 degrees. And they got in the car, and he was like, "What is going on? I've never been cold in my life." And I'm like, "Dude, you're from Washington State." And so
it's a wet cold though, man. It's a wet cold here.
You don't get all that cold there.
That wet cold, man, it's different. Yeah, I remember, man, like I've been in Montana multiple times when it was 30, 32 and 4 feet of snow outside, and I'd walk out on our friend's porch with like just barely a long sleeve, maybe some shorts, and drinking coffee, and just it's different, Like I'm not saying it doesn't get colder there than it does here. It does. It's -15 is way colder than anything that we got, but
it's still cold as hell.
But yeah, it's different. The dry cold's different than the wet cold for sure.
No, my parents live in Bozeman, and I mean like 40 when the sun's out.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah, it's not bad. Hunting. Have you always primarily? I mean, you're a man. Like I feel like for
it's a solid pickup.
I appreciate that.
I mean, dude, he shoots deer off the back of a horse. This he's a man. All right.
Yeah. It's like you just call me. I'm the
native saddleback, baby.
I feel like so in like competition barbecue, like when you first start off, you fight the elements. You're in a tent. You have some like cheap grills, and you're like freezing your ass off. And now me and Houston, we got a big
sleep
trailer.
in the back of trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Dicks drawn on your face.
Yeah, it's all fun times. But we paid our dues and we're upgraded. Now we're to a point now where we have a nice trailer, heated, cooled, all that jazz, TV. And same thing with deer hunting now. Like I bougie hunt whenever I hunt. Like we got those redneck blinds and some like the tree palaces is what I call them. And like it could be like 20 degrees outside. I got my little propane heater in there going, ooh, it's a little chilly. Let me turn this propane heater. But I got my buddy from Pennsylvania. He said, I can't tell my brothers we do this. They'll make fun of me to the end. What is your opinion on the glamping hunting?
Okay, so I've got a Monarch blind, all right, which is it's about 18 steps above the redneck. Okay, all right. Yeah. Now I'm just one of my best friends. He owns that company, and he I love his blinds and everything, man. I'm going to talk crap on everybody, no matter what. No,
I'm going to text Danny right now.
Yeah, text him. Tell him Monarch's coming.
I'm text Danny. It's like Trent said.
Yeah, tell him Trent said Monarch's coming, baby. No, that's. I mean, I killed my first 2 deer out of a shoot house. Now they weren't a magnificent, huge, it was a shoot house that my uncle built. I mean, it was built well, but it wasn't, we didn't have a heater in there or nothing like that. It was just your typical shoot house. Yeah. I think I really think I'm different, man, because I can see myself siding with people who, man, you just need to get out there on public. You need to work for it. You need to hunt or quit calling it hunting, hunt or just, whatever. And then I can see, I've had the opportunity to hunt out of, nice shoot houses and go on, like I did my first, this year, I did my first guided turkey hunt to where I went to an outfitter, and it was so stinking fun, man. So fun. Just like, and what's bigger in the deer hunting world, Houston, you may not know this, but
no idea about deer hunting.
Crossbow
get shit on so bad.
If you are affiliated with owning a crossbow, much less.
Oh, is this a dick move?
This is you are the biggest douchebag wuss in the world of a hunter. And man, like man, I killed this year so far. I've killed my first and my with a crossbow and my biggest deer this year with a crossbow. And I put it on film. I put it on YouTube, and I said, man, the heck with it. And I told a buddy of mine, I said, I'm so surprised at how bad I don't feel about that. Nope. I have had one little bit of remorse or guilt, or I wish I'd have tried one more time with my compound. Like, I'm so stoked that I killed that.
You get it?
And he's at the taxidermist right now. And like, I feel like, man, as long as it's legal. And I mean, I think that makes it, for the most part, the way our hunting laws are laid out today, I can say if it's legal, more than likely it's ethical. Okay. So if it's legal and if it's ethical, man, I think, hey, if you want to get out there and you want to save your money up that you've worked hard for, and you want to buy a $30,000 shoot house and you want to put an 80-inch flat screen TV in, you want to build a small house and just put a food plot under it and hunt out of it. Okay. And you got enough money, you can put a 20-foot fence around your place and kill a 187-inch deer on a bad day. Do it. The only thing that I think anybody has any problem with anyone when it comes to these situations is when you got a guy that talks crap and means it. You know what I mean? I think that's what takes over everything. When you got that guy that's bragging about all these deer he's killed, and every one of them's been at an outfitter or it's a high fence. He was driven to the shoot house and dropped off and said, hey, he's going to come out of that right corner. That guy, we all about have fun. Have that fun. Just keep your mouth shut. All right,
Yeah.
just don't get into how good of a hunter you are. All right,
Right.
but man, like I said, if it makes me happy, I'm gonna do it. You know,
Yeah.
like when I go to South Dakota, these boys are sending me pictures right now and videos of deer 140, 150 inches, and they're like, man, I think if I let him go this year, he'll be, I let him walk. He'll be a good deer next year. And I'm like, oh, you better hope and pray his son and grandson don't walk by me. Because let me tell you something. He's coming home to Mississippi. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean,
Hey.
I'm for it all. I guess is what I'm saying. I'm for it.
I get it, but I think there is a preference on this kind of thing that plays a factor in it. But personally, though, I also do think there's such a thing as being too comfortable. Like I've gone on some duck hunts where like the blind is like a
Has a
20
bar
gun
in it.
shoot, 20
Yeah,
gun
has a
shoot
bar and the
blind,
roof comes up.
has a kitchen,
Yeah.
has gas heaters, has flat screen TVs, has like bunks in it. I mean, it's probably like a 2,000 square foot blind.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've never really had like a memorable hunt out of a blind like that because it's so comfortable and there's so many things to like take you out of it that you end up not really focusing on hunting that much. And it just kind of becomes about like being out in like some flood timber in a slightly less nice house.
Well, if you could go back, Houston, would you take away that experience from yourself?
No, I wouldn't because those days I had a lot of fun with the people I was out there.
Yeah,
sure, that's what it's about.
I think that kind of hunting, whether it's waterfowl or whether it's deer hunting, whether you're hunting on you're going and paying somebody $15,000 to shoot a 287-inch deer. I think for the most part, thank God we live in America and we can do what the heck we want to do. And
that's true.
I would love the experience I would love the experience to go to Canada and shoot a whitetail from an outfitter. Sure. I'd love the experience to go into a duck blind. Yeah, it probably wouldn't make me like, well, this is the only way I'm duck hunting from now on.
Yeah,
I'd
exactly.
have more fun going, and getting on Manatee Creek and jump shooting the wood ducks, with my buddy. But to still have the experience, I think it's, for me,
it's like a vacation.
Exactly. Yeah, like that's not what you're normally doing, but the experience would be cool. But you definitely don't want to. You wouldn't want to make that your one and all right there. Is like this is the only way that I'm hunting, and because I do agree with you on that, Houston. Is like you at a certain point, you have to ask yourself what's too much here. Where how much sport are we really participating in here? Is there zero sport in here? Is it just killing?
So, last year I duck hunted 2 days in like on clouds. I was like out there like blue jeans and on cloud shoes. I mean, because I didn't even have to wear.
I killed the biggest deer in my life in a bar, straight from the bar in Crocs, and like my bar work shirt, and shot the damn deer, and then went back to bed. I had one of those drunk guy system scenarios where I literally got there around 7:30, sat in the stand, looked on top of the ridge. There's a monster buck. Boom! I'm back taking a nap by 8:30.
Yeah,
I've heard stories like a boy in Arkansas that shot a deer drinking Busch Light in his hot tub, and he shot it through a little gap in the fence behind his hot tub right there with a crossbow in the hot tub.
Yeah.
So
my dad shot a lot of deer on the with smoking cigarettes and on the back of the mobile deer stand, aka the four-wheeler. Yeah. No, that's something I'm glad you brought up, and Houston, you as well. Let's talk about deer hunting etiquette, because that's something that's different between anybody you talk to. I feel like everybody has a different opinion on it. For me,
like where you tie your horse up and
yeah. Make sure you take care of your horses. but no, that's always allowed. If you can do that any time of the year, go for it. No,
sure.
But yeah, like you're talking about, like, I'm fine with people doing, like, the one thing I have a problem with, the people that brag about farm deer kills. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like deer farms, the high fence properties, like, they give these average hunters that they see on YouTube like these false sense of like how big is their deer. Like, I feel like, you deer rack shame because you see these, antlers on TV and on YouTube, and they're these deer farms, and they're freaking 260-inch deers, and there's 20 of them, and they're just walking around, and they have names and collars and radio tags. And I'm like, I mean, to me, that's not hunting. Like, for me, that's like, I don't. That's why I don't spotlight. I'm not gonna spotlight because that's not that's
Right.
not legal. Like, but like you said, like, but as far as baiting and as far as like putting a decoy out there, and hell, I bought that raw deer scent from South Dakota and tried to throw that shit on there this year. It didn't work, but I tried it. I mean, if I could put cotton candy in the fields and they'd come to it, believe me, I'd be buying a lot of cotton candy.
Right.
But anything but like the deer farms is the one that I have a problem with. The high fence, because it's like you're sitting in a stand. It doesn't matter what time of day you're going to sit there. You're going to see a monster buck, and it's just like at that point you're just picking out a new car because they're pretty much the same price. So
yeah, I think we're one of many. I say we. I don't really, agree with that. I mean, I don't like looking at deer on the internet. Like, I saw one yesterday that he was holding his head walking.
Yeah, it's so big. I mean,
because it was so big, and it's like, man, you are completely taken away. You've already taken the sport away, but you've completely taken this deer's quality of life completely away from them, to where they've got to break their neck just to walk from point A to point B. And it's like, so what if he's 400 inches? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, right.
I mean, those atypical deers. I mean, you've seen them. The atypicals that were freaking. The right antler looks like a Christmas tree, and the left one, they have like antlers going everywhere, and like 12-inch drop tines. And I'm like, that doesn't look natural to me. Like, I'd rather have like a typical, nice, widespread 8 to 10 pointer versus the ones that go all over the place. But I don't know. Some people love those. Some people don't. Are you more atypical or typical kind of rack? If
you say atypical, are you talking about non-typical?
Non-typical, yeah.
I
call it typical.
I think it would be dependent upon where I killed it. If I shot one on my private land or on public, the more unique, the better.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's just something about a big mainframe deer.
So pretty. There's
something about a deer that's G2s, G3s, G4s. If you got a big 10 point and all of his G2 through 3 and 4, are 10 inches, 12 inches. Yeah. I mean, just a monster. It just looks like a stud, Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that would. I don't know. It's one of those questions, like when I'm talking myself through, it's the same question I get, which one you like better, deer or turkey hunting? Well, if you ask me during deer season, I like deer hunting better. If you ask me during turkey season, I like turkey hunting better. It's kind of an impossible. I don't know, man. I don't know what I would prefer in that scenario, but I'd take both. I'd take either one. I can tell you that. So
yeah. Would you shoot an albino deer? That's another discussion I've had with people.
If it had a bigger rack than what I got on the wall, you dang right I would. I don't believe. Here's the thing. I'm a Christian. There ain't no such thing as luck or coincidence or happenstance. It's all allowed by God. So if you telling me that shooting an albino deer is going to curse me and give me bad luck on my hunting season, all right, then I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up, baby. Let's go. Keep rolling. All right. I mean, like I said, if it's legal and it makes me happy and big racks make me happy. All right. Yeah. No pun intended there. And, I mean,
but you do like the skull mounts, though. Like all the racks I've seen in your videos are like the European fur racks. On kind. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like both. I mean, I like I literally just did one last night. Should post the video this week on YouTube of sculling a deer out. I'm not good at it. I'm not.
Yeah.
I lost the darn nose piece to this one. I think my dogs ate it. But that's like one of 3 now in my house with no nose piece.
Yeah.
Right, but if you skull it out, what does it matter if it was an albino or not?
Yeah,
right,
exactly. I mean,
Dude,
if I killed an albino or a piebald deer and it was a buck,
full body mount.
if not that, definitely saving the hide.
Oh yeah,
definitely saving the hide. You know,
have you seen the mounts where they had the the typical mounts and then they got the hide kind of like in a frame around it?
I've seen that, and I've also seen where one of the coolest mounts I think that's out there is the deer head and the hide attached to like the backpack sled or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? To where it's like it looks like somebody packed it out 40 years ago. Like that kind of mount is freaking sweet. But yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm big on taxidermy, man. So I do the skull mounts because it's therapeutic to me. I like doing it myself. And but as time goes on, if the good Lord will give us some extra money, I'm gonna fill this house with as many shoulder mounts as possible. They may be all 130-inch deer and below, but that's what makes me happy. So
that's all good. Hey, I forgot to ask, did your wife hunt? Does your wife hunt it?
Now she can cook the fire out of it, and she ain't got nothing against it. My wife is a wildlife. She's a forestry and wildlife management major from Mississippi State. So she's 100% down for it. She's like, if you don't hunt, if you're against hunting, if you don't think that it's the best thing for conservation, like you're crazy. But getting her to get out there in the woods and pull the trigger and kill one, she ain't gonna do it.
She ain't about it. And my wife
ain't about taking the life. No,
my wife's the same way. Like she ain't let me hang up my deer mounts. We have a hunting cabin and we keep them all there. And so I'm like, I got this big, hog head mount. I went hog hunting. It's a beautiful 700-pound hog, and it's awesome. And she won't let me hang it in the house. I'm like, man,
dude. Next time she goes out of town, call me. Let's put a bunch of them up while she's gone.
Let's hang them up. Pounds.
Yeah, it's Hogzilla, man. It's a beast.
Good Lord, I ain't never in my life heard no 700-pound hog.
It was a fat boy.
When we get off, you need to send me a picture of that.
I'll send you a picture. No, man.
Do you do any hogs?
Do what?
Do you hunt boar at all?
I don't hunt for them, but I kill them when I'm in the woods.
Sure.
We haven't got them yet. We just started getting them here.
Yeah, everywhere that we hunt here, and all the river bottoms, man, they're full of them. So it's one of those things that they're a pest, and I shoot them and leave them. A lot of times, most times, I think I've drugged one hog out with a buddy of mine, and the rest of them I've shot and left. So
no, it's they're starting to move up this way because we're like laying between the lakes. And you say you're a big hunter. You've heard of Night and Hail game calls?
Oh yeah,
Harold Knight and all them. So they're actually from my hometown, and that's where I hunt in Cadiz, Kentucky. So their farm's not too far. So yeah, the hogs have started showing up. Everybody started sending pictures and laying between the lakes and stuff of wild hogs. And, once they show up, man, you can't get rid of them, man.
No.
You know what? This is going to be a redneck, ignorant sounding opinion, but I believe you could. Okay.
I believe you get motivated enough.
I get it. Look, if we started in Mississippi, South Dakota, I have learned has the best pest management plan out there. The state holds over $1 million or $1.5 million for kids that as long as they video setting the trap, catching the animal, and then shooting the animal or putting the animal down, whatever piece of that animal that they bring to the game and fish office, they get $50 for. Not 10, 50. So if they go out there and trap 10 coyotes and kill 10 coyotes, and kids are learning how to do this stuff, kid make $500. If they would do that, don't tell me we ain't got the money. Okay, every state, we've figured out how corrupt every piece of government and everything is. Man, come on, they got the money. If every state would do that, if they would say, okay, we've got a problem for every hog, hoof or whatever. I mean, obviously they come up with a way of how not to, the tip of the nose. Every hog nose that you turn in, you get $50, and it's open year round. Dude, you have so many rednecks out here. They'd be making a living off going and eradicating these freaking hogs.
I got you beat. I got you beat. Think how many catalytic converters you save around here in Houston. Every crackhead in town would be in the woods and off the streets, man. Look at that. You solved the homeless problem, and you solved the pest problem.
Come on, teach a man to fish. Teach a man to kill hogs. You feed him and put a little money in his pocket. Look at that.
Yeah, and then you're supporting the economy of the drug dealers, man. It's a win-win.
Supporting the dope heads and the environment. So
and keeping the catalytic converters on your cars and all the copper in the ACs.
That's right.
Scrap yards to go bankrupt around here.
You can monetize it. Like my brother's college roommate was like the UT Knoxville DU chapter president, and I remember like we'd gone on a duck hunt, and he brought all these videos on his phone. He went on like a javelin hunt, like from helicopter, with like ARs. It looked like something out of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like they're just orbiting around herds of javelins, just like.
Yeah, I want to do that so bad.
See, that's something in Texas too. That a buddy of mine owns a ranch out there.
Yeah,
Prairie Hill Sporting Club. Jeff Sterner owns a ranch out there, and he said before to me, like we can't kill over this amount of hogs. Because our members want to kill hogs. They want to come out here and they want to shoot hogs. That's part of this club. So it's like, it's not one of those things like, they just keep having babies and we can't make ammunition fast enough. It's like, no, we got our hands tied in some shape, form, or fashion. The government wants them there or don't care enough. But if we wanted to, you can get enough guys together that love to shoot things every now and then, and you can eradicate a hog area if you really want to.
Oh yeah. No. Hey, that makes me another thing. I wanted to talk to you about is something cool I saw that I want to save up enough money and steal enough catalytic converters to buy me one. Have you seen those thermal drones? The deer recovery drones?
Yeah.
Dude, I want one so bad.
If I had seen that 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't be on this podcast. I probably wouldn't be doing social media. I would have probably gotten just a normal job, saved up as much money as possible, and purchased a thermal drone. And then I would have been like, all right, I'm just gonna go anywhere in the near 4 states and just recover people's deer. And I'm going to work 4 months out of the year. And I love
it's not that bad.
Well, no. So there's 2 different types. So the DJI Mavericks, they have thermal drones on them, but the ones we're talking about actually are cargo drones.
$30,000.
They're $35,000 is the ones we're talking about.
Like the big like ag rated.
Yes.
Drones.
Yeah.
Those drones.
They're big. They cost.
No, I was gonna say DJI's got a quad with a thermal on it for like under $4,000.
Yeah,
this thing will open up a compartment and DJI will be sucked into it. I mean, look, these things are the real deal.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. I was looking at them today. I'm like, when I hit that Powerball tonight, there will be signs. My yeah, oh hell yeah! My success rate on deer hunting will go through the roof.
Powerball, dude, I'm gonna tell you, one of these national wildlife refuges just became private.
Yeah,
I'm gonna greet some politician down there enough. It's fixing to go from the Knoxville Refuge to the Ellis Kingdom or something. I don't know. Private, it's heavily guarded. Okay,
Yeah. So that's dude. I saw those videos and I'm like, what in the hell is this? Because I just want to like have that just to see what your herd is, Because I feel like is it? Can you see the horns only when they're in velvet? or can you see them when they're normal too? I know you can like track blood trails and stuff through the woods with them on, but you see those drone videos of thermals that you can actually see the antlers on the deer.
I've never,
But they don't have blood on the outside of the
But
horn
when
when
they're
the
in
velvet's
velvet,
off, right?
no, when they're in velvet though, they got blood running through them.
Yeah, there's
yes.
blood going through the.
So that's what you
inside the
do. You
velvet.
check your herd when they got velvet.
Oh, dude, hey, look, I've wanted to buy a thermal. I've wanted to buy, and look, I've got a great idea. Okay, all right, anybody out there listening to this, you look, if you know, if you run upon a game warden, I'm not telling you it's legal. I don't even know, but I'm just saying it's a good idea. Okay, so don't. This is not foolproof. But I'm thinking
hypotheticals.
Get a handheld thermal. Don't put it on a gun, even if you're like bow hunting or whatever. Just take it with you. And if you're especially like early in the morning, man, can you imagine just walking every 50 to 100 yards and stopping and scanning and being like, oh, there's a deer right there. Dadgum, that's a big body. But let me just stop right here. And I mean, can you imagine at the deer we constantly walk by in the morning going to our stand?
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if you just had a thermal like, oh, there's one 60 yards. I'm just going to sit right here until daylight and see what that bad boy is. Or late in the evening, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's when they all come out right in the evening.
Pop up 10 yards and like, oh crap, I can't move. Well, you can be scanning, you know, and hey.
I thought about this year. I was like, my buddy, he goes county hunting. He used thermals.
Yeah.
Just let me use your binoculars. You can use your thermal binoculars. I just want to like look out there. But there's some old people listening and watching the show. I was like, shit, we did that back when I was kid. It's called spotlighting. It's like, oh, there's a difference.
That's the original thermal as a headlight.
Yeah, that's the OG thermal. That's that spotlight. Woo!
That's right. Yeah.
No, man. But
barge light with some alligator clips on it.
Hey, man, there's been more deer killed with 9mm than there has any other caliber, I guarantee.
That's probably true.
In Mississippi, if you shoot a deer, even during bow season, it's in the law. They made it July. They wrote it into law July of 2023. You can, if you shoot a deer with a bow or a gun. I thought it was funny though for the bow. If you shoot a deer during bow season with a bow, you can go back that night with no more than 2 dogs per dog handler. Okay, so you can take dogs with you unless the public land, says you can't.
Sure.
And you can, if that deer is wounded and you see
you
it,
go dog them
with your light. You can take a pistol,
and put them out of
45 ACP, and shoot that deer and kill it at 12 o'clock in the morning, or 1 o'clock in the morning, with a spotlight. So there are ways around legally spotlighting and shooting deer with guns out in bow season, but I don't necessarily recommend you doing that, but I mean,
there's always loopholes, man. Shoot them in that, shoot the deer, and then go and stab them with a broadside arrow. You go, I aired them. No.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, but I ain't sit around and talk more deer with you, but I gotta wrap this bad boy up, man. Trent, Tilda, thank you so much for coming on the show, man, and I truly appreciate you, and I appreciate your content. This was a blast, man. This hour and a half went by super, super quick. I can talk deer hunting all day long. But let the people know where they can find you, if you got anything coming up or anything like that.
Well, it's my name on every platform besides Instagram, and it's Trent_Ellis21. So everywhere else, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, it's Trent Ellis, and it's just goofy Southern outdoor comedy.
Amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah. I don't know about that. That's a stretch, but that and then on YouTube.
No, dude, your bait and feed plot videos. I laugh at those every time I watch them.
Oh yeah. Well, but baiting is one of those. It's one of those real touchy subjects. So you can always get that comment section lit up if you just baiting or crossbow or whatever. But yeah.
I love the ones where you do the conversations with you and your wife, where you put the shirt over your head.
Yeah.
That's the greatest. I've had all those same conversations with you. It's like, yeah.
That's one of the ones that I don't love to do as much, just because I dress up kind of like a woman. and it's an ugly woman, but still.
You got the bearded lady.
Some that I've seen I will give myself that, but I feel like that's relatable. On both sides, I feel like the women watching it can relate, and men watching it can relate. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just make everything just wholesome and relatable, and make a few folks laugh along the way.
Oh, you're definitely doing that, man. I can't wait to see how much you can continue to grow. I mean, in a short amount of time, you've been doing your content about as long as we've been doing this podcast, and you have just like leaps and bounds of just exploded. And it's awesome to see, man. You're an awesome guy, so it's always nice to see nice people succeed. So, man, but I really appreciate you coming on the show, man, and good luck on your hunts coming up this year. I hope you get a monster, get you a 200 pointer. Make sure you get some corn pile and some beer and pour it on top of it. I hear that works. I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe some smoke some Marlboro Lights. That's how my dad used to do it.
Keep that horse fed.
That's
keep
right.
that horse.
Yeah,
keep that horse. Keep the horse fed. But all right, guys, that's right. Well, that's our show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and however you consume this show. But until next time, when it comes to barbecue, make sure you're always right on cue. See you guys later. I hate this.
She's got it.
No, I don't. I'm using. Something's going on. This is awesome. So nice. Oh, this is nice. Here we go. Don't know what's going on.
Come on, toe fingers, find the butt.
This is going back to like the front of the podcast that we had.
Yeah, you know what?
Stay right on cue. Stay right on cue.
Yeah.
He's going. You know what?
He's pulling wires out of his mixing board.
I am.
This
This is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing.
Hey, you've only been doing it a year, I mean, if they're still watching, that's embarrassing. It's like it's over. What are you still watching for?
What are you doing? Get out of here. What are you doing? Bye.
Yeah.
Get out of here. No. All right.
In your defense, I did think Trent hunted deer from horseback tonight. So.
I mean, to be fair, it's true.
That's the best moment I've had on a podcast. Like I'm seriously like that right there. I will go to my grave remembering. Are you mounted when you're shooting your butt?
Oh my god, dude! I'm losing my shit.
I told him, he's like, man, we're going to talk about deer hunting. I was like, dude, I don't know shit about deer hunting.
Hey, Houston, we're still live, buddy.
I know we are. We're just chatting while you wrapping it up.
Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's been fine the whole time, and then just okay.
The live button up in my feed tells me such.
Yeah, live 122:33.
All right. Cancel. Hold on. Here we go. Maybe. Yes.
That's all, folks.